Hello, and welcome back once again to Infinite Jeff, the project where I, Jeff, read the book Infinite Jest to you one page at a time, one day at a time, put it up on the youtubes.com for all to hear. Let's just knock this out. It's currently October 28th, 8:34 p.m. It's a Wednesday. Yeah. Page 252. Here we go. Throughout the whole funeral period, what I most recall is a great deal of quiet talk about my psychic well-being. It got so I kind of enjoyed popping in and out of rooms just to enjoy the quiet conversations stopping mid-clause. You must have been traumatized beyond fucking belief. Your concern is much appreciated, believe me. Ellipses. Trauma seems to have been the consensus. It turns out Rusk and the moms had been interviewing top-flight trauma and grief counselors for me within hours after it happened. I was shunted directly into concentrated grief and trauma therapy. 4 days a week for over a month, right in the April-May gearing up for the summer tour period. I lost 2 spots on the 14s ladder just because of all the PM matches I missed. I missed the hardcourt qualies, and I would have missed Indianapolis if I hadn't finally figured out the grief and trauma therapy process. But it helped, ultimately, the grief therapy. The therapy ended up taking place in that professional building right up Com Ave, past the Sunstrin Plaza by Lake Street. The one with the bricks the color of Thousand Island dressing we all run by 4 days a week. Who was to know one of the continent's top grief men was right up the street? The moms didn't want the process going on too far from the old web, if need be, I'm sure. This grief counselor insisted I call him by his first name, which I forget. A large and red, meaty character with eyebrows at a demonic-looking, cynical angle, and a very small, nubby, gray teeth, and a mustache. He always had the remains of a sneeze in his mustache. I got to know that mustache very well. His face had the same blood pressure flush CT's face gets. And let's not even get going to the man's hands. The moms had Rusk shunt you to a top grief pro so she wouldn't have to feel guilty about practically sawing the hole in the microwave door for herself, among other little guilt and anti-guilt operations. She always did believe himself was doing more with Joelle than work. Poor old himself never had eyes for anybody but the moms. This was one tough hombre, this grief counselor. He made a Rusk session look like a day on the Adriatic. He wouldn't let up. How did it feel? How does it feel? How do you feel when I ask how it feels? Rusk always reminded me of a freshman fumbling with some subject's bra, the way she'd sort of tug and fumble at your head. The man was unsatisfiable and scary. Those eyebrows, that ham-rind face, bland little eyes. He never once turned his face away or looked away at anything but right at me. It was the most brutal 6 weeks of full-bore professional conversation anybody could imagine. And we end on, a natural break in the conversation. But that was page number 252 of Infinite Jest. Yeah, good night. Good night.